It's all right to sit for these. They didn't ask us to, rearrange chairs and all that kind of stuff, thank goodness. I'm vertically what about number 5? Uh-oh. I hope they're not going to have us do that for phase 5. I don't think so. No, we can just sit comfortably. Okay. So I think what I'd like to do is just, if we, just become familiar with particularly that, because that's the target we're aiming for, right? Which is in the center of this, which is in the center of this, which is in the center of the 7+1 suns, that is the halls of Cosminas. So we're going to be journeying by some waveform or whatever when they come in live to show me the wave. But if we can remember the configuration of that as the Aluma Un, or the ARI-ARhAYas Aluma Un core of the KrystarSeed atom. And I think we can turn this off now too, because it's really bright. Thank you. That's better. Yep, you can activate your Krystar vehicles and all of that. Do some plasma breaths. For anybody that's new, that doesn't know, that might not have heard why we run these together sometimes, it has to do with the fact that Beloveds identified that we were Tantra twins, and we have a ARhAYas contract to run frequency together for the gates. And because it means we had a contract before we came in, so our DNA and plasma body coding are very similar and like totally code for code compatible, that allows us to blend, to create a blend wave together that allows the quantum of what's referred to as the Alhambras, the 2 become 3, become 1. It allows for a huge amplification of the plasma fields to be run through. So that's why we run frequency together. What we do is they've taught us how to link chakras and the lotuses. So we link our lotuses through the chakras. This particular stance, be it standing or sitting, is referred to as a Niedra stance, where, and this is an electrical one, if the male person is behind the female person, that is the male person is the transmitter, so it's transmitting the electricals. If at times you would see me in that position and in front, that would mean it's a magnetic transmission where I would be the transmitter and running through that way. So that I just wanted to explain a little bit. We explained a bit about that in India because we were running around all over the place doing the Niedra stances and all sorts of very strange places like the caverns and those kind of things. It's like, there they are again, doing whatever that is. In India, it was interesting because you get some really strange looks from people because I guess the culture is very, no PDAs, public displays of what appear to be affection and that kind of stuff. So, here are these 2 people, and like in some of the shrines and things like that, doing this. And we'd have to figure out, just I'm tired, so I have to lean against you. We're transmitting. So anyway, we're doing a Niedra electrical wave run on this. And the first part is phase 1, Tantra activation, receiving the 8 Alhambra core creation crystals of the cosmic record. It's a Sun 8 K+8 activation. It's journey to the ARI-ARhAYas Aluma Un Krystar core identity seed, and meeting the Sun 8 Alhambra Majestestry councils of the Cosminas Arutas. So that's the 8 Majestestry councils inside of the core Arutas crystal of the Cosminas. And this will activate the Sun 8 fire and ice plasma union flows, and they are the flows that come from that core Arutas crystal. So we're just going to link and breathe here and begin transmitting the wave. What we're doing actually is we've begun just a little bit of our training as wave runners. where we can, and you're getting pretty good at this too, and you can sense when the wave is coming down or up, where we'll feel a wave kind of undulate down, or sometimes if it's coming from the aurora shield, it'll come upward, and then we kind of blend the wave together so it makes a field between us. So you're actually watching that. So if you're watching it, maybe if you watch with your inner eyes, you might actually see some of the dynamics that are happening. But we're going to anchor first the wave run that they're bringing in, the current to ride it, and then I will just narrate as they go. They're asking too that if you see, if you start seeing things, they're going to give you some of the information too. That just kind of nudge me, and you speak it if you want to.
Okay.
You don't have to, but if you want to. Yeah. Okay. It was fascinating because I found out like last year that so we hardly knew each other at all. We're just doing a patra, palm patra, and projecting to pod, and he could see what I was seeing and other things too. And I'm going, yeah, it was my eyes closed in pod going, where are you seeing that? And I was like, oh, it's over there. He was seeing stuff that I missed. So, he's very talented with the seeing too. So, anyway, okay. All right, let's think first. Yeah. There we go. Try this. No, that's not going to work. That might work. Don't even go there. Yeah. I know, but I'll have to bend over and like down to here. Yeah. Now this kind of works.
Oh, pick up sound from the distance.
All right, because I was asked by the sound people to keep it closer to my mouth, and that's going to be much further away. Okay. That could work. Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, also if you want, you could be closer to the edge, later the edge.
I don't think I'd be more comfortable. I usually sit lotus when I'm done. Doesn't fit. Oh well. So where should I go back to the other? Doesn't fit. Oh well. How's that? Is that okay back there? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, that would be really good if I don't have to hold it the whole time. All right. There you go. All right. Okay, we're going to anchor the wave and then hold it. And when we exhale, we're going to ask anybody that wants to pick up the host with this. This is the carrier wave, the beginning wave that the beloveds are running through from Alhambra. And if you want to pick up the Alhambra host, to when we exhale, and we'll let you know, like, now, right? Then you inhale just to pick up the wave. And we're going to spread it out. It'll come down through us this way and then go down into the aurora shield, but a part of it will curl forward and run through the shield this way. So when you inhale, you actually feel it coming up from below. All right, because we're going to bring it down this way, and it's going to go down into aurora shield and then kind of like bend like into an akasha shape, the bottom of the akasha, and then come back up the other side of the akasha. So it'll be an upflow that you would pick up that's coming from down under, even though it's a wave that anchors down this way. All right, that's some of the things they teach us too. It's like if you have two people, one will anchor a wave down this way, and then it bends over and arcs back up and goes back up to the Krystar through the other one. And it's a circulation that they teach us in Tantra Asia. And then you get the other one doing the same thing, and you have the two-way, circulation going. You can also do it in groups where we'll be the one side of the Akasha, Krystar up there, brings the wave down, goes through the Aurora shield, curls back up, and then you would be like the other person that runs it back up and sends it back up to Krystar to create a circuit. And then there would be a backflow that would come down to each of you. So they're saying this will be your first opportunity to actually play with being a wave runner, where you'll get to run the circuit of a wave, not just a wave that comes down or up, but actually a circuit flow, which is the beginning of Tantra Asia training, actually. When Tantra Asia, between you and God Source Consciousness field through the Krystar. So it is actually a very intimate relationship between each person and the Krystar from which we come. So it's the beginning of that. We link palm flames when we do that, just like when we do Patra. When you do Patra this way, we actually have flames in the palms that the points, they're like Akasha flames, the points come together. So you have one Akasha going this way and the other going this way, and they open the seals on the base of each of the round base of the Akashas, and the points of each open the seals, and it creates an open circuit flow. So that's what we're doing. I like to narrate so you see the postures, but you don't know yet what they mean, and they've been teaching us these things, so I'm sharing that with you as we go. Eventually, they will teach us a lot of that. There's a lot of diagramming that goes with showing these things, but it's really, the Tantra Asia is really, really a beautiful practice that, just like with a person and God Source, it is just a really beautiful practice of running frequency with the Krystar and God Source Consciousness field. All right. Yeah, the waves coming in. I'm seeing this disc over our head, not quite as high as the ceiling, and it looks like it's translucent white. And that's who? I'm still like, which one is that? Which seal is that? That's the one that goes with Sun 8. But it looks like almost watery, but translucent white disc of water. Interesting. It's plasma, it's not water. But right. And I'll narrate, because these are always new to me too, as I'm running them. So I'll just narrate what I see, and then they'll direct us. Okay. Do you sense the disc there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, they're asking us to, at the same time, inhale up, and grab onto a quantum of it, and then inhale, exhale it down, and it'll bring the wave down through us.
Okay.
And then exhale it down, and down into the Aurora shield, and then out and up to the shield. Okay. So inhale up. And exhale down and send. And you guys inhale up now. And if you want it, pull it up through. Hold it in your heart chakra for a second. And then exhale it upward to the Krystar at the top of your legs. Okay, they're going to have us do a couple of those to cycle it. And we get in sync with each other. Okay, let's do it again. Inhale up. Exhale and send. You guys inhale up. And exhale from the heart chakra up to Krystar. We're going to pick up the momentum now, where as soon as you go and exhale, we'll go and draw and send. And when you hear us send, you inhale up and see if we can get in sync with each other to flow the circuit, to run the wave. Okay. We'll go inhale up. Exhale, send. Inhale. Good. You got the circuit going. Just breathe normal now. Nice. Okay, I'm just watching. They're going to show me what next they'd like us to do. Okay. Okay. All right, they're going to drop what's called what they're calling a carrier wave, a carrier plasma wave of the fire and ice frequencies, the plasma frequencies from the ARhAYas first cell. So they're asking us to inhale upward to that spot 18 inches above our head where chakra 11 is. Just inhale up there and hold for a minute. Try to sense when the little tip of the wave starts coming down into that spot. And when you sense it, then gently exhale down all the way into the aurora shield, way down at Earth's core. Now inhale up from the aurora shield into chakra 4. And then exhale backward from chakra 4 through the wing spot and out the back of the wing spot. And now inhale from the wing spot, from your mission sphere, into the wing spot. And a little bit forward into the central vertical column. And then exhale a spark up and downward at the same time, the central vertical column from the wing spot. Okay, they're asking us to just breathe normally and gently for a moment and try to sense the gently, slowly moving, gently undulating wave of translucent white frequency that's coming downward. Try to feel the wave as it comes into your crown chakra and gently undulates through your head and down through your neck. Try to feel the flow of it as if it's like a gentle ocean wave. And let your body rock back and forwards with it a little bit. It's moving forward and backward. It's coming down vertically, but undulating forward and backward. Try to feel its rhythm and just let your body and your molecules move with it. Feel it as it goes out of your body in the P-lotus area and keeps going downward into the aurora shield. But it's a really long vertical wave, so there's still plenty of it running through your central vertical column. Oh, cool. Okay, they just showed me what they're going to do next. Try to get a bit more in touch with the feel of that wave running through you. And they're going to expand its quantum now, where it gets a bit wider, because it's still like a thin sheet of undulating ribbon current, plasma current, and it's going to get wider side to side to where it is running through you but also now around you. And try to sense the feel of that. As we're breathing and sensing this undulating wave, they're showing me, and I'm trying to find the words to describe that. All right, it's like they're showing me an image of it's like being laminated. You know how you laminate a piece of paper where you have one piece of plastic behind and one in front, and then the thing being laminated in the center, and then heat seals the plastic around the edges? Well, they're kind of going to do this with the wave, as the wave is moving downward through us, it's going to split up its middle in two, so you have one part of it coming down the front of you and one part coming down the back. Try to sense that. The split happens up at the chakra 11 spot, 18 inches above the head. And they're going to send a starburst of what looks like pale pink energy down around each person. And that's going to be like the heat seal that makes the edges of the two pieces of the wave melt. So we're kind of laminated inside of it. Okay, they're saying inhale up to chakra 11 and hold. And when we exhale, they'll bring the pink frequency down, the pink ball of energy. And just breathe normally, but try to feel now the reality of your physical body and your plasma body being gently sealed inside of this gossamer undulating wave. Try to sense it. It's almost like having a very soft veil draped across your face, if you feel it on your face. Try to sense that feeling. And they're saying now, while we're in, they're referring to this as in encasement, we're encased in an Alhambra plasma wave. While in the encasement, open your your plasma body eyelids, like open your eyes in your plasma body, but not on your physical body. And see if you can sense actually doing that. And begin trying to see through your eyelids, through your open plasma body eyes. It'll come easier for some than others. With practice, it happens, and then it kind of happens all on its own. If you can open your plasma body eyes and see through them, sometimes if you just get them open, it's like a newborn, where all you can see is like light and shadow, and you don't know what you're seeing till your plasma body eyes get used to receiving sensory information. But for those who can, try to see the veil of this wave, as if it's it's almost like a lightweight scarf running down across your face, and it's like trying to look through a lightweight white scarf. Try to sense that reality. Okay, and now there is a group of them coming in. I'm trying to see which group it is, because I know we're supposed to meet the 8 Majestuary Councils of the Alhambras, but this isn't them yet. This is one of the groups of 48. Where are these guys? I think these are they're the the Tantri Master Councils, that larger ring of them. They just came in about ceiling height, and they just look like balls of energy, like they do in the diagrams. They're coming in to hold a field for us. They're actually making a large, as if there's a round horizontal shield up on the ceiling level with them in their 24 points, but there's 2 of them on each point, so there's 48 of them. At the center of the shield, they're going to open a space, and that's where they're going to begin journeying us through into first, trying to see where they're going to take us in through. Okay, they just said it's an Alhambra passage. Okay. Oh, that's what they are. Okay, just learned something. On those diagrams, the straight lines, right? The 24 straight lines going out that the balls or circles of balls are riding on. Each of those is an Alhambra passage. So they're going to have us ride one of those passages, and they're starting with the outer master council, which corresponds with the outer layer of the cosmea. So they're going to bring us from that level inward through one of the Alhambra passages, first into the root of cell, and then into the core of the root of cell. All right, let's see how they're going to do this. Wow, heat flash. Whoa. Okay, I'm watching. They're doing something at the center of the shield to get it open. Oh, neat. Okay. This just reminded, what I'm seeing right now, just reminded me of when I had mentioned that the Tantriyema had visited and they superimposed this white room space into my bedroom. This is different, but the same concept. The Tantri Asia, I believe these are, the ones that go with the Tantri Master Councils. It's the same concept. They're opening the central space as if you took that diagram and that was the shield, and you opened a hole in the center, like all the way out to where that outer ring of the Master Councils is. And in that space, they're superimposing their space from that band of consciousness, from that state, into the room and the space with us. And this one isn't all white like it was with the Tantriyema. This one is, it's funny because I've been here before in this space, but I didn't know where it was. So they've taken me here in some of the journeys on Sanctuary Island. I refer to it as the dark room space, because it's kind of like everything it's kind of like dark as if lights are off, but everything is kind of like light to medium pale blue, some of it more aqua blue, but everything has this like blue glow to it, like objects and those kind of things. And when we move our bodies there, when we project plasma bodies there, they take on that same configuration where they look like pretty transparent, except they're like outlined in blue, and you can, you see yourself in blue, in blue outline. It's like a very pleasant electric aqua blue, and with dark, very soft, gentle dark background, kind of like a sapphire dark blue background with the aqua blue outlines around everything. Oh, they're going to do wing spots. Okay. Now remember, we're still laminated in our Krystar wave that's still running through us. They're going to do something pretty neat. They're going to send a frequency into the center of the room, all the way down through the center and down to Aurora Shield, and the Aurora Shield's going to kick back a frequency backflow that, for the people who are wanting to participate in this technique, it'll come up as a not quite a geyser, but like a quick spark that comes up from below. And when that spark comes up, it'll come up through you and go out back up to the Krystar. When that happens, your plasma body is going to go flat, two-dimensional, like as if somebody took the undulating wave and took it by its sides and went pop and pulled it this way, where it became really taut, right? And it squishes our plasma body into like a flat plane with it. So they're going to do that in a second. All right, they just drop the frequencies down to Aurora Shield. All right, so if you're running the host, this in a second that's going to release the sparks. So just inhale up now, up from Aurora Shield, up into the wing spot. And then exhale from the wing spot upward to the Krystar shield. And try to sense the pop as your plasma body became flat, like somebody ironed it. It's still like in the middle of your physical body. And now they're, oh neat. That's a whole new meaning of wave runner. In a second, they're going to we can just breathe normal, but they're going to create a vacuum, right? Okay, like a vacuum field, which is part of the crux and theta field. Actually, they're opening a big crux and theta. That's what they're doing, which is the magnetic part of the gate fields in the center of the room, and it's going to expand all the way around the room and out of the room a bit too. When they do that, it's going to draw our flattened plasma bodies up. It's almost like watching, the old-fashioned sticks of gum that were flat. It's almost watching a bunch of those rise up out of our bodies, from inner bodies up through our heads and come out our heads, and except they're not solid like gum, they're the translucent white, and that's our plasma bodies flattened at the moment, and they're all going to gently kind of float upward to a point that's outside of the building, but up over the center of the room, but outside of the building, and moving through the crux and theta. It's a center point. It's actually the seal on the round end that is on top of the crux and theta. So they're all going to collect up there like little ribbons, like strips of ribbons. Try to sense your plasma body as it kind of moves out. It's almost like it peels out from inside. It's almost like a feel, like you can feel it popping here and there. Right. And try to feel that wave moving up. And try to sense the feeling of yourself. You feel yourself in your physical body, but try to sense yourself in the flat form of your plasma body as well. Try to feel the freedom in that shape, because you can actually undulate with the air as you're flowing upward. And we're all going to collect like petals on a flower around the seal at the top of the crux and theta. And here's where we'll pick up that, where things start to look like the sapphire blue background, and our plasma bodies look kind of transparent, except for the aqua-y blue outline. So right now we look like aqua-y blue outlined sticks of gum. That's what the visual looks like, but undulating sticks of gum. There's also a streamer of the pale aqua blue that is connecting the bottom part of the stick of gum shape of your plasma body, which corresponds to the bottom of your physical body. It's connecting that, and it runs all the way down through into your crown chakra and through you and into the ARI shield. So you're connected to, you're connected. That's your plasma body tether line. You're connected there. Oh wow. Okay, cool. Now they're going to take us on an interesting journey. Wow. And we get to go un-two-dimensional pretty soon. Try to visualize that we're up above the building on the rounded end, the upward rounded end of the crux and theta, which is an akasha shape but turned upside down, the magnetic part. And there's a seal that looks like a round door. And it's just, like a closed door of energy. They're going to open that, and we're going to float our sticks of gum-shaped plasma bodies up through this round door. And they want us to inhale now and hold. And then exhale and push our plasma bodies up through the round door. Try to sense with the plasma body that we passed through this doorway, and it's now going to close underneath our vertically standing sticks of gum. And now they're going to have us inflate our plasma bodies back into three-dimensional shape. So they want us to inhale into our wing spot, both on the physical body and the spot where that would be on our vertical standing stick of gum plasma body. And then exhale frontward and backward horizontally from the wing spot in both spaces. And feel your plasma body pop back into three-dimensional form that matches your body form here. Try to sense your plasma body in this space. Again, it's still dark. It's like being in a dimly blue lit cave. It's pleasant. It's not a frightening blue feeling, dark feeling or anything. The atmosphere feels quite sparkly, actually. And try to open your plasma body eyes and see out of them. And if you can see out of them, the first thing you'll see is that we're all standing in a room that appears to be in a cave. And a stone cave like you'd find underground. And this is a meeting room. This is a beginning entry to the Alhambra passages. And it's one of the Alhambra passages. There's going to be a group of guides that appear. And these are from the Tantra-ARhAYas, Tantra Master Council band. And first they're going to appear around us as small orbs about tennis ball size. And then they're going to kind of starburst and turn into a pillar and turn into just light being shapes, of hominid light being shapes. There's one for each of us, so we each have a guide. And they're saying so we don't get lost, because there's a lot of conduits to the chambers. And if we go wandering, we could get lost, and that wouldn't be good to get our plasma bodies lost right now. All right, so it's interesting. I'm seeing them coming in a door, like, a cave door, though, not like a fancy door, just like, a natural arch in the cave. Over toward my right, I'm seeing a bunch of them come in there. And they're going to come up and stand next to your plasma body and also project a portion of themselves down into your mentor space over your right shoulder. See if you can sense them when they come in over your right shoulder. They're going to first, they're going to first, they're kind of standing a little bit behind us and over the right shoulder, and they're going to use their left hand and put it on your wing spot on your physical body, and they're going to transmit a frequency there. That's the receiving frequency for for receiving the 8 Alhambra crystals. It begins the activation of the wing spot. Felt that one. Okay. And now try to sense that in your plasma body, as we're all standing around up there, and they're standing with you, a little bit behind you on your right, they're doing the same thing up there with their plasma body hand, left hand transmitting to your wing spot up there. And there's going to be a little buzzy feeling in the wing spot in the plasma body up there. And it's going to pop the wings. They're the feathered wings. But they're plasma feathers, so they're not heavy feathered wings. They're light feathered wings. And they'll look like the clear, pretty transparent plasma body but outlined with that aqua-y blue color. So I haven't popped yet. All right, they want us to inhale and hold in the wing spot. And when we exhale, the wings up in the plasma body will pop, and try to feel part of them pop down here too when we exhale. Whoa. Now try to sense that your plasma feather wings have activated. Try to sense the feel of them on your back, connected to the wing spot. It's almost like, when I first felt it, was like having somebody stand behind me and almost made me jump. It's like, oh, that's my wings. Okay. Try to move them forward and backward. First start moving your shoulders as if your shoulders are the wings. Move them forward, hold, and then backward and hold. And just do the shoulder movement a little bit, which gets the physical body wing spot energized. And then leave the physical shoulders still and try to do the same motion with the forward, with the angel wings, and then backward. You're not stretching them out yet. You're just kind of moving them forward and backward. Try to sense that your plasma body is also doing the same thing up there. And now they want us to, and they're saying we're working with the lone harmonic that we've done, in a lot of things before, where even if somebody's sitting right next to you, you still have a space around you that is keyed just to you, so your wings won't be running into each other even if you spread them out. So they're asking us to inhale into the wing spot and hold for a minute. And as we hold, kind of bring the shoulders up a bit, and also the rounded part of the wings, because we're going to get ready to stretch the wings out sideways on the exhale. And then exhale, drop the shoulders and spread the wings out like a bird or an angel. Try to feel the sensation of them. Try to sense the tip of the flight feather, which is that big long feather on the tip, the point of the wing. That's the control feather, they're saying, as far as the electricals go, as far as running the currents, the plasmas. They're saying now, with them up and arched, kind of like the wings are up like this and out like that. I think kind of like a Harley-Davidson logo or something that has those wings that go up and they bend and go out. And now try to move the tips as if you're bending the elbows of the wings only, where you're stretching just moving the tip, the wing feather, flight feather, up, pointing vertically, and then back down again. And then stretch them out fully and move the whole wings, including the shoulder parts of them. And kind of ruffle them, where you can actually ruffle the feathers, where they go like this. Go around. And now they're asking us to raise the tips and overhead, right in line with the center vertical column. Tap the wingtips 3 times, and it creates an electrical spark. And then inhale and hold, and that will bring that spark down into the wing spot. And hold it in the wing spot for a moment. And then we're going to exhale it upward into our plasma body that's standing up there in the cave, and we're going to bring part of our consciousness, more of our consciousness with it. Okay. Now try to move your attention more fully into the plasma body standing in the cave. And we're all kind of just hanging around with our guides, waiting for what they're going to do next. Oh, neat. Okay. Oh, cool. They just activated their wings. Wow. They're like huge, and they're beyond the physical structure of feathers. They're just like amazing undulating energy currents, which is what ours become eventually. And they're having us all stand in like a grouping of concentric circles with a small group. I can't tell how many of us are in the center, but there's a small group of us in the center and then a bit bigger group outside of that, and there's several layers of that. And they're having us stand next to each other facing inward. And they're standing right behind us. Like, each one of us has our guide angel. And it's standing right behind us. And they want us to raise our plasma body wings up where the tips are pointing vertical. And then put the tips together over our heads. And then they're going to link their own wingtips together and form a circle around us. And that's how they're going to transport us from the beginnings of the Alhambra passages down in through the chambers, the Alhambra chambers, that will take us through into the halls of Casminas first. Okay. All right, they're getting ready to, they're saying to fly us. And in a second, they're going to have us inhale, and when we inhale, they're actually going to contract us, all of us, and them, into a big ball of light, like a sun. And it looks like that fire and ice plasma sun. It's pale aqua-y blue. So let's inhale, and we contract in to the sun. And when we exhale, we're going to just imagine we're catapulting vertically, all right? And we're actually going to be going at an angle in the chambers. So exhale, upward. And now I'm seeing it looks like this big aqua blue white sun flying through these chambers that look like kind of like, when they mine coal and stuff, there's like these tunnels that they dig. It was kind of like seeing it fly down through a whole bunch of these really, really fast. And we're in there. We can just breathe normally now. We're in, our plasma bodies are in there. And all right, cool. They're gonna bring us first into the Sun 8 cell. And I'm seeing the big our travel sun aligning with what part of it? It's the outer part, where they call that the ARI-ARhAYas level, where our sun and its corona is aligning with, in the same size as, the corona level of sun 8. So just exhale, and we'll come back into our plasma body physical forms up there. Ouch. Okay. And they're saying, try to look around now and see where we are. I'm still trying to get my eyes open. Usually they open quick, but I'm like, oh. All right, where am I? I'm still seeing nothing. Beloved. They're going, it's coming, don't worry. Like, okay. Are you seeing anything?
Not, but I'm right there.
I was thinking you were seeing it first, actually. Right. Yeah. Waiting for visual contact. I feel the frequencies. I feel this swirling, big swirling orb of energy around us, like swirling translucent white bands of energy, just swirling all around around our group and through the Sun 8 corona. It's really funny. They're going, we almost have visual contact. It's like they're in some control room up there working on, reestablishing the video feed or something. They said it takes a minute when you cross the threshold. They're referring, crossing the threshold into the halls of cosminess. Okay, still waiting. Okay, that's better. Alright, what I'm seeing first is like we're inside of this huge, looks like a dome, but it's actually a sphere, but it has a shield at its, horizontally running across its middle point. So we're all like standing on that shield, and the top part of the sphere is like a dome over our head, but it's really, really huge. It's almost, gosh, we're almost the size of ants, or plasma bodies, compared to the size of this dome. So to try to tune in to this space-time location where we are by sensing your plasma body inside of this absolutely massive, it looks like a domed cathedral, but it's just one big dome. Try to sense that, and also the other, the other members of the group, and where we feel all the same size, and our Alhambra guides are just a little bit bigger than us. They're keeping their size proportionate. Yeah, because sometimes when they just let it rip, they're huge. Yeah, but they're just about a foot taller than whatever our height is. Our guide is about a foot taller. Okay, now we're all waiting around in here, and we're waiting for something, and so are they. Okay, they just said we're waiting for the transport passage to open. Okay, that's going to be at the center of this big shield that we're standing on inside this dome. So they're asking us to kind of, face the center point and, again, do the concentric circle groupings. Oh, cool. All right. I'm seeing the center point starting to open. And it's really neat. There's like... actually, I think there's 48 of them, not just 24. There's like 48 lines going down from the platform of the shield that we're standing on inside the dome, and this hole open in the center, and then they look like water slides, like 48 water slides going downward in that center hole, and they want us to slide down them. They'll go with us. All right, they haven't given the call yet. There's a membrane over the top of the hole, so you can't go in yet. Okay. All right, now they're saying inhale upward and hold in the wing spot. And when we exhale, feel ourselves in our plasma body kind of jump up a little bit and then go right down, feet first, down one of these slides. And we're all lined up with like one of the 48 of them. Just and try to feel the whoosh sensation. And it is kind of wet, but without being wet, like that hydrolase feel. Oh, cool. Wow, they go a long way. They're going like, really long water slides. Okay, and then there's going to be a drop at the bottom where we go kind of like plop into a large pool of what looks like hydrolase, but it's a first plasma version of it. It's more than hydrolase. So feel us as we get to the bottom of the slide, just kind of going, and we kind of go under water for a second and then pop back up in our plasma bodies. So it's almost like we're kind of like when we were in the ocean, except we're in concentric circles right now, but standing next to each other, all kind of popping up out of the water. That was interesting timing. Here we go. I wonder what did that. So we're kind of floating about in this water, and it's interesting, whatever this watery like plasma substance is, you don't have to tread water. You can just kind of like hang out and float and kind of like bob, and your head doesn't go down after the initial poof and then back up. They're saying now we're going to meet the 8 beings. Each is a representative of one of the 8 Majestic Councils of the ARI-ARhAYas Coruscant. And as we're kind of, bobbing about and floating about in this water-like plasma, our guides are asking us to spread out a bit, like back the circle up to make the center of it bigger, because they're going to pop up from the center. In what? I don't know. But I can feel a rumble down under the water-like stuff way down under. Feels pretty deep too, the water. All right. I'm seeing, it's interesting, it's a crux and Theta shaped, the upside down Akasha. I see it coming up from way down underneath the water that we're bobbing around in. And it's moving up slowly with its round end, the bottom side of the Akasha, like in the crux and Theta position, pointed up. And it's just about, wow, it got really big as soon as it came to the surface, like it started to crest the surface. And now its tip is flipping up. Okay, it just turned upright. And now it looks like a big milky white Akasha floating on the surface of the water with all of us in that circle around it with our guides. Cool. All right, the Alhambra Majestic Councils are going to expand out the size of their Akasha bubble. It's an Akasha shape now with the point up. And they're going to expand it out where it gets big enough where it kind of envelops all of us, envelops us. So we end up inside of it with them. And then we're no longer in the water-like plasma. And when they're expanding out now. And they want us to inhale and hold while they're expanding it. And then when we exhale, we'll pop up and be on the inside of it, standing on a shield platform that runs through the center of the round part of it. Okay. Now I'm seeing the 8 representatives, of each of one of the 8 councils, the Majestic Councils, as just kind of basketball-sized orbs sitting, like positioned on the floor in a circle in the center of the shield, and we're standing around them, and they're asking us to sit down in our plasma bodies, kind of like lotus style. and just kind of face him. Oh, and that's neat. Our Alhambra guides that were with us, they're still with us, but they just turned into not quite the chewing gum stick shape, but more like an undulating wave that's positioned directly behind our plasma bodies now. Alright, and the 8 in the center are doing something. They're also having a vertical wave run through them. Kind of looks like the basketball-sized fiery white translucent orb running with a vertical wave running through it. And now they're touching the tips of their vertical waves over the center. And, oh neat, and it's arcing out to our guides that are also running their vertical waves behind us and making arcs over our head to the Kasmina 8 in the center. So our Alhambra guides are linking us in with them. And they're going to do something and take us very quickly through the into the root of cell and directly into the seed atom, and from there they'll move us to an experience with the Krystar core identity, the there we go. Okay, they're waiting for something. Okay, we're gonna. Ooh, okay. They're saying inhale into that spot in chakra 3, where the blood crystals are, the blood crystal sac. Inhale into there. And hold for a second. And when we exhale, we're going to, all up there in our plasma bodies, turn into one big orb that goes right through into the seed atom. So. Okay. Try to sense us as consciousness, but we're still immersed in the orb form there. But try to also sense a little fizzing or tingling sensation in the blood crystal sac and chakra 3 as the aquos and auros crystals there, blood crystals, start to combine, and they form what's referred to as pyros, which is also known as divine fire. Just try to sense that. It'll be it's really strange. You could call it a warming, but the flame is cool. With this pyro stuff, I don't know how to word that any better. So try to sense that happening in your physical body. And now inhale into there and hold for a moment, into the sac. And exhale upward into where your plasma body is in the sphere. And since our plasma bodies went back into being in 3D form, there's still that kind of transparent plasma outlined by aqua blue. Wow, this is an interesting space. it's almost like a space that isn't a space, but it is. It's hard to describe. We're inside of the seed atom, but we're not in the core ARI-ARhAYas yet. But it's like even the space itself, it's like a big sphere again, but it doesn't have a shield going across it in the center, so we're just kind of floating in it. Some of us are lotus style, some of us must be really tired because our plasma bodies are falling asleep on the, floating in the air up there. That's really funny. Yeah, it's really, oh, this is really funny. The ones that are sleeping, for some reason, are rising higher in the air. It's like the ones that are standing are just like hanging out like about middle of the sphere. But the ones that are like, had started like laying down on about the same area that everybody was standing, as they got more and more under in sleep, their plasma bodies, they started rising up in the air and they're floating around in the air, sleeping. That's cool. That was new. I wasn't expecting that. All right. Now, they're getting ready to give us the crystals. I'm going to see what they want us to do. This is really funny. The people that have fallen asleep, their guides are going up and getting them and kind of bringing them back down and gently roughing them to wake them up. They're like, huh? Oh, all right, yeah. Yeah. That looked really comfortable. I think I'll have to go do that tonight or tomorrow after the workshop's over. Alrighty. Again, everything is like in that darkroom space, you know, where it's like transparent, outlined with the aqua blue on a sapphire blue background. All right, everybody's awake and standing up now. Oh, cool. All right, the ARI-ARhAYas core identity crystal of the Krystar from which we all come is appearing right now as an akasha shape, but more spherical, with just a little bit of like vapor trail going upward to make the akasha point. Pale white translucent flame, but it's very living. You can really feel its consciousness and its presence. And it's expanding to be quite large in the center of, again, this spherical space that we're in, that is the inside of the seed atom. And we are being invited, each one of us, and on our lone harmonic, where we're going to be asked to step forward, you know, if we want to receive the 8 crystals, to step forward into the flame. And the flame is the core identity of the Krystar, which is ARI-ARhAYas Comidas Alhambras. So the consciousness of the Krystar is in direct cognition, transmitting to us that we are invited to enter. It is as a homecoming, and in accepting the gift of the 8 Alhambra crystals, it is a rebirth, actually, a rebirth of the plasma body with its K+8 factor, because each of the crystals, you know, the crystals combined create the K+1 all the way up to the K+8 factor. So they're going to ask us to inhale and hold, and when we exhale, move our plasma bodies forward and step into this big flame in front of us. And try to sense that as soon as your plasma body went into the flame, it created a small portion of itself, still within the big flame, but gave you a private section that's like a private akasha-shaped flame around you, so you can have personal communication, direct cognition with the Krystar. So it's like the others aren't hearing it or whatever. It's like a private conversation. They're saying that this is a space that you can remember to go into whenever you would like to communicate with the Krystar, whenever you would like to ask for healing or ask for assistance or, anything, say thank you. It works that way too. There's a way to remember how to get there really quickly without having to go through the whole journey. And they'll give us the crystals in a minute. But they're asking that each of us in our plasma body up there, as we're standing in our little private part of the flame that is the Krystar core identity, to hold out our left hands, and we can do that on the physical as well, just a little bit in front of us with the palm up. And a stream of light is going to come from the private part of the Krystar that is communicating with you, and it's going to create a shape in your palm, like a symbol. It won't be too complex. It'll be a simple symbol. If you can see that symbol written in light on your palm, either in physical here or up there in your plasma body, and also try to sense as if a finger was tracing it on your palm, that sense of it being drawn there. Try to get an image of what that shape, that symbol, that line, it could be a squiggly line, it could be a series of, any kind of shapes. If you can't see it, that's okay. Just know it's there. And that'll be your passkey for instant projection of your plasma body into the Krystar core flame. The way you would use this is in a personal patra, where if you're here, in a physical, and you want to project your plasma body there, you would put your palms together in the personal patra, in the ARI, I think that's called, in the praying hands position, and just inhale into the wing spot from your mission sphere, and exhale directly forward and out into where the palms are linked. And it will activate. It first looks like the symbol turned really big, one on each hand, and turned into like symbol mittens in a circle. And once that effect occurs, it'll just run through your whole body, and you can release the ARI and just relax and visualize yourself there and sense the feeling of the communication. Try to sense the feeling right now while we're standing there together with the amplification of the Alhambra Majestic Three Councils with us. Try to sense the feeling of the love. It is an absolute love. It is unconditional, but it is also a love that can be soft and a love that can be firm when necessary. It's not a pushover love that can be taken advantage of. It is the eternal love of God's source and of the Christ and of the Krystars. It is the most beautiful and gentle power in the cosmos, but it is also the most strongest and firm Christic power in the cosmos. Kind of like it can be firm, like the love, say, of a mother or father, or even a mother or father bear, protecting its cubs if someone was going to hurt it. That there's a beautiful divine fierceness to that kind of love, that it will protect. It will stand by that which is loved. And we are all loved. Now if a being is acting out of control, is causing harm to others, just like a good parent does not let a child continue to behave like that, because it is self-defeating for the child as well as harmful to others, and it will take corrective measures to assist the child in learning better. The Krystar loves in that way also, but it also loves in the tender, nurturing love that a parent would give a child that it adored, where the child knows it is safe, knows it can go there for nurturing, for healing, for company, for learning. Try to feel the reality of this space with you. And now, the final gift, there will be a circle of 8 crystals given, and this time in your right palm. So they're asking to hold the right palm up in the physical and up there in your flame space. And it's funny, they look like little, well, they're little like plasma balls. They're more jelly-like, gelatinous than I thought they would be. They said they solidify when you bring them home. Okay. All right. Because right now they all look kind of like the same color, which is that fire and ice, kind of pale aqua-y blue, ice-like plasma color. They're saying, close the palm now and bring them into like one little like cluster in the center of the palm. And inhale just a little, using the inhale breath to pull them just inside the palm chakra. For storage. Now they're going to have us come back, but I'm not sure how they're bringing us back yet. Okay, they're going to have us, that tether line that has remained between our physical bodies and our plasma bodies, even though our plasma bodies went through all sorts of contortions and journeys and shape-shifting. That tether line is still there. They're going to have us come back into our physical bodies directly through that tether line in a second. So we have a portion of the 8 crystals in our right hand of our plasma body, and actually another portion in the portion of our plasma body that was left with our physical body. And when we bring ourselves back through our tether line, it's going to bring those 2 sets together, and that will begin their activation. The first part of their activation, it'll start and then we're going to do something with them to activate the union flows within our body. All right, so they're asking us to inhale again from our wing spot here, all the way upward through our tether line into our plasma bodies, way up in the Krystar core. And hold for a second till we really get a hold of our plasma bodies up there. And then exhale downward and bring our plasma bodies down, right down through our crown chakra, back into our bodies. Try to sense the bit of a buzzy feeling in the right palm as the 2 sets of plasma crystals interact with each other. And now they're going to have us open the the fire and ice flows within our physical bodies and plasma bodies by taking that little cluster of 8 crystals in our right palm and placing our right palm over our chakra 3. And then inhaling and leaving the crystals in the palm. Inhale. And on the exhale, send the exhale down the right arm and push the crystals into the blood crystal sac. And then you can release your palm and just breathe gently for a few moments. Now, they said it will take a few minutes, about 15 minutes before these flows activate. I didn't know they were going to do this, but they're going to take a short break, like 15, not a half hour, in between this one, and then they'll run 2, 3, and 4 together as one. But we need the time, about 15, 20 minutes, they said, for these to activate. While we're taking this break, try to just sense and breathe into. You can like breathe in through the wing spot and then exhale down into the chakra 3 blood crystal sac, and just kind of breathe that way for a while you're taking break, and just try to sense they're beginning their activation cycle. And when they activate, what they'll first do, it will be like little pop, pop, pop sensations actually in the atoms and subatomic particles of your blood, as the blood crystals in the blood start to carry those core flows. So try to sense that. They also said you may feel some strange effects, and like, yeah, okay, because I just feel like somebody is pressing really hard on my forehead. And they said you may feel some just little odd effects sometimes in your head or in various parts. Don't worry about that. Just gently breathe through it. It's just your body getting used to the openings of the union flows. And we'll be back in about 50. Well, we'll give it 20. It's 3:30. So like 10:04. And they said the other one, the set of the other one won't be as long. Like they're not 3 more that are that long. So we'll be able to do those. And then there's a final activation one after that. So, wow. I hope you enjoyed that part of the journey to Krystar Core. Thank you, beloveds.